Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, a special welcome to you. I ask that you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a tension that's been going on between residents of Port Royal in Jamaica and the Jamaica Security Force, or should I say residents in Port Royal, Jamaica and the Jamaican government. Apparently the Jamaican government have decided to invest in a shipping pier in Port Royal for the purpose of tourism. Typical Jamaican government, you know, when people in Port Royal are asking the government for housing and for necessity, the Jamaican government would not bat an eye, or they would drag their legs. But as soon as an investment idea comes where they can make more money off the land, they will definitely find a loan or find the money to do that. Here's how I feel about the situation. First and foremost, it is something that I've always said on my channel. Jamaica is for Jamaicans, and I understand that Jamaica is a gem. I understand it's a beautiful country, and since I've grown up in age and I've traveled around the world, let's just say I've got my P's and Q's, all my ducks in a row. Yes, let's say I've got all my ducks in a row, and I now understand the politics of countries like Jamaica. Countries like Jamaica are beautiful, but we are designed to be poor. And why are we designed to be poor? We're designed to be poor so we can always run away from the gem that we were brought to in chains and over time of earned ownership. So now that we have earned ownership of the land, the politics is to keep us poor, where we will always seek refuge in foreign country, leaving the beautiful island of Jamaica to investors. So without me broadsiding this, I just want to say to the residents of Port Royal, Jamaica is for Jamaican, and there are laws that govern Jamaica, and within those laws we have what we call in Jamaica squatters' rights. I didn't actually deep dive into the squatters' rights, but I will point all the residents of Port Royal that are currently fighting with the Jamaican governments about retaining their land and retaining their residents to visit the Ministry of Justice website, where you can find the laws in regard to squatting rights and land ownership in Jamaica. Because the only thing I found was an article in the Gleaner that read, in Jamaica, a squatter can get legal claims to land through adverse possession. This means they can get a valid title for the property after living on it for 12 years in the case of a privately owned property, and 60 years if the land is owned by the government. So I don't quite know the ins and outs of squatters' rights in Jamaica. Like I say, I didn't deep dive, I didn't research the law, but I'm here to point you guys into the direction of the Ministry of Justice website, where you can find information in regards to squatters' rights and land ownership rights. To my understanding, a notice was issued by the government to more than 50 families in Port Royal to be moved from the property because the government need to build on the land and create this pier for ships to come and visit Port Royal. The government can do so as long as the government is within its right. But if the people have squatting rights or have legal ownership of these land, the government has to come to some agreement with these people. And like I say, Jamaica is for Jamaicans. So if any of these people own their land, they don't have to submit to the Jamaican government. They don't have to sell to the Jamaican government if they believe that this is where they want to be and this is where they want to stay. They have all rights to do that. Jamaica is a democracy, people, and the footage that I saw on the television, it seemed as if it was no democracy there. I mean, there were armed forces, there were cranes, it didn't look good. It wasn't a pretty sight. It seemed as if these people were about to be forced off land. Like I say, I don't know the ins and outs of the ownership of the land. I don't know who has gained the land by squatters' rights from who straight out bought the land. But the reason why I decided to defend the residents of Port Royal is because Port Royal is a place that I've frequented, and let's face it, it's one of those places that more Jamaican goes to have a great time than tourists. You understand? It's our little part of Jamaica that they've given to us. Jamaica is supposed to be for Jamaicans, and most Jamaicans can't even access a decent beach without paying. All the best beaches in Jamaica are owned and are procured by resorts owners or hotel owners, and they are strictly for tourists. The Jamaican government, whether it's JLP in power or PNP in power, what I have seen is that they continue to treat Jamaican people in the land of Jamaica as if they do not belong in Jamaica, as if it's a privilege for them to be in Jamaica. And that is wrong. I mean, Jamaicans, overseas expats, Jamaicans that are working, kneeling on their knees, cleaning houses or doing whatever work for people in foreign country, they take enough insults and enough treatment of being privileged in foreign countries to go back home and realize that they will still be treated that way, and their fellow men in Jamaica have always been treated like they're not home. Jamaican people need to stand up for their rights and speak up for their right. Home is home, and Jamaica is home. And when we get kicked out of foreign countries, or when we decided that we can't take it no more in foreign countries, we want to go back to Jamaica and feel as if we're at home. This is where no one is going to privilege us. Jamaican government believe that they should not only model themselves off foreign countries, but they must be dictated by foreign countries and disregard the people's rights in Jamaica. Jamaicans should have rights, and Jamaicans should be protected by those rights. There are laws that govern the land of Jamaica, and there are laws that govern Jamaicans. As long as you're a Jamaican national, the Jamaican government should be putting you first. They should consider the livelihood of these mothers and fathers and children before considering the money that they'll make from the tourists that will visit Port Royal. I understand that Port Royal is rich in history. It's probably the richest location in Jamaica with history, but at the same time, the Jamaican government have to secure the rights of the Jamaican people and let the Jamaican people feel as if they are at home. Negotiate with the Jamaican people. Let's say, for example, some of these houses are rightfully owned, and you see where tourism could make a financial impact in the Jamaican society. You have to negotiate with these homeowners or negotiate with these squatters and let them know that even though they're technically protected by the laws of Jamaica, there is a consolation for them. And then you have to honor that consolation. So if you desperately want to move these people, come to some dealings with them and give them some substitution. You can't just evict 50 plus family and leave them homeless on the street and then have smiling tourists coming off ships, looking at landmarks in Port Royal and having a good time on the suffering of Jamaican people. It's not right. It's not right on so many levels. And Andrew Holness have to reconsider this before he go ahead and evict these people from Port Royal. I cannot emphasize it anymore to my Jamaican people. There are laws that are prescribed to the protection of our livelihood and the protection of our rights. And as long as we stay in darkness, as long as we do not research these laws or do not become familiar with these laws, outsiders or the puppet masters for Jamaican government will forever instruct the Jamaican government to continue to abuse us and deny us of our right, letting us live in misery and sadness, seeking refuge overseas, while those laws that were written initially provided that we should be free in Jamaica, enjoy the land, and be happy at home. So considering that I do not know all the details of the individual families in regards to their legal ownership or squatters' rights ownership, I can't say much more than direct them to learn more about squatters' rights and learn more about land ownership in Jamaica. There's also another issue that was brought to my attention about Airbnb being taxed in Jamaica. It's an open and shut case. If we're trying to build Jamaica, if we're trying to get Jamaica forward, if we're trying to pay off all our loans, etc., every business in Jamaica, as long as your business turnover and income, you have to contribute towards the building of the society. That's how modern society works. In other words, you have to pay tax. So whether you're a taxi man or whether you're an Airbnb owner or you're a hotel owner, you have to pay tax. I understand that the agreement that they currently have with the Ministry of Tourism is that they pay an administrative fee, and that's about it. But now the government of Jamaica is considering taxing Airbnb, and there has been some up and down agreement, disagreement about it. Like I say, it's an open and shut case. You are a business, you earn money, you pay staff, and some of these Airbnb make hundreds of thousands and millions in Jamaica. So I can understand why this is not an easy decision. It's a very easy decision for the benefit of Jamaica. But then again, maybe a lot of people in Jamaica don't want to pay tax because history has it that the Jamaican people or the land of Jamaica don't really benefit from the tax of Jamaica. Jamaica has been one of the world's most tourist destination, but Jamaicans who are living in Jamaica very rarely benefit from the millions and millions of dollars that goes into the Jamaican tourist sector. Most Jamaicans who work at these resorts, they get almost nothing for pay compared to the rest of the world. So I understand that someone may comment, or the government of Jamaica may defend this by saying they provide jobs. Providing jobs is one thing. People work and people may get paid. But does the work and the pay equate or even balance out with the rest of the world? If the answer is no, then Jamaican people are not benefiting from the tourist sector of Jamaica. Anyway, people, let me not get myself too worked up. Like I say, I just want to educate my people in Jamaica on knowing their rights and knowing when the government is abusing it from when the government is being fair with them. But before I go today, let me big up some people.
Big up yourself to the maximum.
First person that I want to big up is one of my long-standing and favorite subscriber, Evelyn D. Evelyn, big up yourself. Next, I want to big up Chad Murdoch. Chad Murdoch, you know how much I appreciate you, so big up yourself. And last but not least, I want to big up Rachel Harris. Rachel Harris, thank you for that beautiful comment on the last video that I posted.
Big up yourself to the maximum.
And that's pretty much it for me today, people. Let me know what you think about my views in this video. Let me know what's your suggestion to the people in Port Royal and to Jamaicans overall, what you think is right, what you think is wrong. Because as you know on my channel, I accept thumbs up, I accept thumbs down, I accept agreement, and I accept disagreement, because at the end of the day, each one teach one. Until next time, people, peace.